Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box. And it's the third part of our annual Meet the Managers series. We've met the wooden spoon contenders. We've met the also-rans. Tonight we meet the dark horses. Those managers that, if everything comes together, have the pedigree and the form to win the Family Fantasy Football League. There's some former champions in this group, and there's also one or two what some might think are controversial entries. So here we go then, with just 24 hours, or less than 24 hours, to get your final teams in before the 8 p.m. deadline on Thursday the 15th of August. 3 managers have still to enter their teams. Angela Addis always leaves it lastminute.com. Nicky Lee, probably drunk. And Ryan Perrin, no doubt up to his eyes in housework. But they have less than 24 hours to enter their teams. Our first manager we're meeting tonight is the 13th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League, and it is none other than my boyfriend Steve Maloney. Team name Ostrich Bar Stewards, 8 previous seasons in the Family Fantasy Football League. And Steve was a cup winner back in 2023, and he was a cup runner-up in 2018. That's not bad. Two cup final appearances in 8 seasons. He got the silver boot in 2022 for the most assists, and he's had 1 Manager of the Month award in his time. His best ever finish, 4th in 2023. And his best league position, well, he did top the table the last time, 31st of August 2017. And Steve has spent his pre-season doing what all of the big Premier League sides do, growing his brand in the far-flung corners of the planet. He's been out to Hanoi, which is where he's taken the Ostrich Bar Stewards pre-season tour. And he met up, funnily enough, with another Family Fantasy Football League manager who was also on a pre-season tour in Hanoi. No happy endings manager, Di Maloney. What are the odds? So they played out one of those meaningless friendlies that's all about just getting your match fitness. The result doesn't really matter. But as it was a derby, things got a bit feisty, and Steve went down with cramp in not one but both legs after just 10 minutes. And believe it or not, that isn't the first time that Steve has got cramp in both legs within 10 minutes. I've seen it happen. It's hysterical. So he went down with cramp after just 10 minutes, and Di, being the great sport that she is, and being a professional masseur, she came on to treat his cramp, which she told me was the most professional way to do it. She just punched his legs for about 5 minutes. But hey, she's a professional. I'm not going to argue. Ranked the 12th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League is Simon Hoxby. Team name Rayleigh Warriors. He's cleaned up his team name a bit after last season, probably nagged by my mum to clean it up. So new team name for Simon. 22 previous seasons in the Family Fantasy Football League. He was the Family Fantasy Football League champion back in 2010, and that's the last time he's ever been top of the league. So it's been 14 years since he's tasted life at the summit of the Family Fantasy Football League. Last year's cup winner. He is the holder of the Family Fantasy Football League Cup. Reached the final for the first time last season and won it. Minor honours, well, he was the Golden Boot winner back in 2010. He got the most weekly wins that season as well. He scored the highest weekly total in 2011. And Simon has had 6 Manager of the Month awards in his time in the FFFL. He was also the Manager of the Season back in 2023. The 11th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League, and this is one of those controversial ones, it's none other than Nikki Lee. Still not got her team in. What is going on? Team name, I assume, because she hasn't entered her team, I assume she's going to go with no effing rude names again. She might change it. Nikki is the highest rated woman in the Family Fantasy Football League. 8 previous seasons, and in all that time, no honours whatsoever. And she did win the wooden spoon back in 2010. She did also finish 5th in 2004, which is her best ever finish. And she's never ever been higher than 5th in the league. The last time was on the 5th of Jan 2024. Last season she tasted life at the top before she fell away. And I know what you're asking. Well, no honours in 8 seasons, a wooden spoon winner, never been in the top 4. Why have you ranked her so highly, Jeff? Well, it's because if I don't say nice things about Nick and rate her very favourably, she will beat the shit out of me, and she's far, far tougher than me. I live in fear. There you go. Next up, we've got the 10th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League. It is Wayne Robinson. There he is. Team name Sash Hammers FC. 23 previous seasons in the Family Fantasy Football League. And the list of honours is long. He's been a 3 times Family Fantasy Football League champion. 2000, 2006, 2007. 2007 was the last time Wayne has been top of the Family Fantasy Football League table. 17 years since he's tasted life at the top. He's only reached the cup final once. He was runner-up in 2017, and minor honours. Well, he's last season's Golden Boot winner. He's also had the most weekly wins on 5 occasions, including the last 2 seasons. Last year he got the highest weekly total for the season, and he's had 6 Manager of the Month awards. He jointly holds a Family Fantasy Football League record, one of only 3 managers who have ever retained the league title, and Wayne is the only manager to win the league in his debut season back in 2000. But it's been a long time. Oh well, last season by Wayne's recent standards, he had a good season, highest weekly total and a Golden Boot winner. But it's been and the most weekly wins, and a couple of Manager of the Month awards last season as well. So last season wasn't a bad season, but from 2008 to 2023, not a lot's been happening for Wayne, and he's finding he's slipping down the rankings. He's going to need to have a resurgence to get back to the top table. The 9th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League is none other than yours truly. Chairman's choice, obviously. Been in the Family Fantasy Football League for every single season. One of only 5 managers to do that. And myself a 3 times champion, 2002, 2013, 2015. I myself have not tasted life at the top of the league since I won it in 2015. 9 years. That's going to change this season. I'm a 3 times FFFL Cup winner in 1999, 2008 and 2016. And a runner-up in the Cup on 4 occasions, 96, 2002, 2015 and 2020. 3 Manager of the Month awards to my name, and I hold the Family Fantasy Football League record jointly for the most trophies won with 6. Nobody's won more trophies than me in FFFL history. I also hold the record jointly for the most cup wins with 3, along with Gobi Desert Canoe Club. And I hold the record outright for the most FFFL Cup final appearances, 7. No one has been in the cup as much as I have. The 8th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League, Mark Benwell. Benny United manager Mark Benwell, a true Family Fantasy Football League legend, one of only 5 managers to appear in every single season of the Family Fantasy Football League. A 2 times champion in 1996 and 1997. The first 2 seasons of the Family Fantasy Football League. It's been 27 years since Mark last won the Family Fantasy Football League. He's been runner-up 3 times in 1999, 2012 and 2013. A cup winner in 1997. He did the League and Cup double that year, and 2011. He's a cup runner-up in 1999, 2000 and 2012. Most weekly wins on 4 occasions, 96, 2002, 2011, 2013. The highest weekly total on 4 occasions, 96, 02, 2013 and 2019. Manager of the season twice, 2020 and 2022. 4 Manager of the Month awards to Mark's name. Holds a couple of FFFL records. He's one of only 3 managers to ever retain the league title, and he's the only person in FFFL history to win 2 Manager of the Season awards. And it's been a busy pre-season for Mark Benwell. He celebrated 30 years of marriage to his long-suffering wife, Donna Benwell, who's still, by the way, side note, refusing to let Mark retire. Mark is undoubtedly the hardest working manager in the Family Fantasy Football League, and Donna won't allow him to retire, even though he's way beyond the retirement age. But after 30 years of marriage, Mark stepped up. Some people said he deserved parole, but nope. He renewed his vows to his lovely wife, Donna. Well, if he doesn't tie her down for another 30 years, he's gonna have a lonely life. She puts up with a lot. But like I say, he is the hardest working manager in the Family Fantasy Football League. Let him retire, Donna. It's not being funny. He does all the housework. I don't know how he has time to do the Family Fantasy Football League. That's probably why he hasn't won the title for 27 years. Yeah, that's right. It's Donna's fault. And one more record. Almost forgot. One more record that Mark holds. In 2019, he scored 224 points in a single week. No one has ever got anywhere near that many points in a single week. The final manager we're meeting today, none other than the 7th best manager in the Family Fantasy Football League, James Holmes. Somewhat controversial entry. Team name, haven't jot a clue. Only 3 previous seasons in the Family Fantasy Football League, and in those 3 seasons, he's won absolutely no major honours. Has picked up 2 Manager of the Month awards. Did finish 3rd in his debut season in 2022, and he was top in the early part of that debut season. But since then, nothing. Season before last, I think he finished 10th, and last season a lowly 16th. A bit of a one-season wonder, and yeah, I haven't got a lot to justify his ranking of 7th, to be honest. And if he doesn't step up this season, he's going to fall down the pecking order. But if he was a racehorse, he would have great form because he's from good stock. He's the son of none other than Arden Diamonds manager Steve Holmes. But he is turning into, you know how Johan Cruyff was one of the best players in the world in the 70s, and then his son Jordi Cruyff signed for Man United and looked a shadow of his dad. That's kind of the territory that James is in danger of getting in if he doesn't up his game this season. And they are your dark horses for this season. I think the champion could come from one of those 7 managers. I think it could be me, to be honest with you. But next time, we're going to meet the Big 6. Not in Premier League terms, but the Big 6, more importantly, in terms of the Family Fantasy Football League. The title contenders. The 6 best ranked managers in the Family Fantasy Football League. So don't miss out on that one. Until then, bye bye.